Hello all, greetings, namaste, this is Gilles Mancillon. I wanted to come very briefly today to wish you a good day and to salute you. I wanted to speak about the ability I've already spoken of this, but I think it's important to be able to domesticate, to tame our emotion. In order to do that, we have to be able to recognize them, to label them, rather than to associate with emotion. It is important to learn to, when we get angry, or when we feel a fear, or when we are frustrated, or when we are impatient, or when all of those things, rather than associating with the feeling, which make us feel, is to identify it, and by doing that we are more able to go through things when they're happening when we least expect it. So it is good to get use of that habit to recognize and work with our emotion. For love is the first thing we want to activate, so in order to do that we want to deactivate all fear. For if we are believing in any kind of fear, it will attract a reality that will prove the existence of that illusion, and then an illusion will be created. So it is a very strong recommendation to forget fear and to move into love, to move into the sacred experience of life. In order to do that, we have the ability to create a blank screen. We have to, it is a quantum field that is neutral, and from there is no past, no future, but we do have a vision that we wish to experience. So it is something that we can do. Let's do it right now. Just take a deep breath, and you create this blank canvas, this field before you, and you on this field, what you do, you project some desire, something you really want into it, and then from there into this field you receive a feeling, a sensation, an energy that lets you know. It can be instantaneous or it can take a little while depending on your receptive level, but the feeling will let you know how you stand in relationship to what you seek to create. And then if it feels really good, then you move your intention, you use your intention to say, I'm ready for that, I'm ready to receive that experience, and then the universe will manifest it. So yeah, that is the essence, but there is a lot that will be discovered in relationship to quantum reality. For we are quantum beings, we are quantic beings, we are multi-dimensional beings, and it is. But in order to realize that quantum part, we have to turn off the limited, restrictive time and space aspect of ourselves in order to rediscover all the other many parts. So when we are going through those time of shifting, as it is happening right now, it's very important to understand that the ups and downs are part of life. Some days life is a bed of roses, and other days you feel like you are the sum of all your limitation and life is hard. And the key is to allow that to happen, to do the best you can when you have one of those days, but more and more it will be, the days should be about joy, about enjoyment, about finding creative fulfillment, and to look into the potential that of whatever life is bringing each and every day. I wanted to briefly go around the room to talk about some paintings. I've already shown that paintings before. It is a painting that represents a whole universe, local universe, with its 100 constellation, which will eventually come to about 10 million inhabited planet. The center world is called Salvengton. It's got hundreds of. It is a celestial plane. Our own constellation, I wanted to come back here because our own constellation is the constellation number 70. It is called Norlas-Shadek. And we are connected to a system, and the Earth is symbolized here by a cross within a circle. Here, this painting, I will return to it as well, because I do think it's a painting that, a recent painting, 2015, that represents the 100 most important planets of our solar systems, but there is all kinds of little planets that could be discussed that are not well known. Like Cassandra, for instance, the 2 cross, it's the planet that says no, 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 and no, when it's necessary. There is all kinds of, like, there is Bacchus and Igea and Asclepius and Sphinx, the descending planet, and all kinds of Hebrews and Diane and Iobe, Nemesis. All those planets will need to be integrated, so we'll definitely discuss those. We'll come to understand those, to work with them in time. This painting is from 2005. It's a series of metaphysical paintings. It's called The Red Table. or the Holy Grail. It's the red table symbolizes the material matter, the blue cup symbolizes the spiritual, and there is this light energy that's flowing out of it. And then it's completely engulfed this painting that represents the material reality of the frame that we live independently of the love that is. And it's on an easel. There is this Egyptian symbol, and then there is a door behind it that the light is hiding. This painting is silent dated on the lower left. I really like it, all those paintings from this period. This is 3 years later. It's called Great Central Sun. It is the center of our galaxy. It is very difficult to show, get closer, but it's difficult to share through the videos, most of the subtle detail. I almost ruined this painting by putting a red circle in the center. I'm glad I didn't, because I think it is just magnificent as it is. And it does look like a photograph of the galactic center. It's maybe a coincidence, but when I looked at it in the NASA site, it's a bit like that. Maybe mine is maybe more precise, but there's all kinds of subtle details, like some musical notes up there. This is a painting of Cosmology that's rather a large painting, but it's not finished. I've already shown it a little bit. I'm still working on it. It's very easy for me to know whether or not the painting is finished. I just gotta hang it next to another painting that is finished, and I see immediately that this painting is not finished. So there's a lot of details that are coming out, or that will be coming out in this painting. We'll visit the architects of the paradise, and then the 3 architects of Avona, and the supreme spirits. Here we have the order of days, supreme trinity spirits and the associate trinity, origin beings. And this painting is the same thing, but it is it's a piece from 2002. It's one of, I came back to France in 2001, so it's one of the first major, not the first, but one of the major paintings I did when I returned to France. So it is a model of the master universe. It comes from a cosmological model that explain that there is an invisible universe that's symbolized here, that's called a central universe, Avona, and the center of Avona there is paradise with the great gods of all times and spaces and beyond. It's the absolute God resides in this absolute residence of paradise, and then there are 3 circuits of 7 planets that are sacred. They are magnificent world, of course, we will eventually come to discover, as well as 1 billion perfect sphere of Avona, which was a universe of perfection that was created prior to the cosmos. And then it is difficult to understand from our space position, because all of this will always remain the center of gravity, which means heavier than the cosmos, and yet invisible from space. So our own local universe, with the first painting I presented, is one little dot within that, and there is 100,000 universe inside the super universe, which is the great galactic family of the Milky Way. And here we have that of Andromeda, which moved forward, but we are going to move forward as well. And then there is countless galactic clusters that are transcendental energies of the future. Essentially, the cosmos is kind of young, because we can say from a paradise standpoint that our super universe, which is the 7th and final one, has been architectured from the 11th architect of the master universe, and there are 20,011 architects. So that means the cosmos will eventually become extremely more vast than it is today. And then above is all the paradise community, some of them that have been revealed, with Majeston and the reflective spirits, the supreme spirits, the supreme executive, the creative mother spirits, the spirit of the universe, the gravity messengers. Here we have the angels, the midwayers, the earth angels, the cherubim, sanobim, seraphim, omniaphin, tertiaphin, supernaphin, the host of space, the higher personality of the infinite spirit, the permanent citizen of the universe, the courtesy colonies, the power center, power directors, and energy manipulators. Those guys are just organizing space, but we probably won't know them that they're kind of a discrete bunch. Here's the supreme, the ultimate, and the absolute. Supreme, ultimate, absolute, which is the three level of God realization. Here we have the transcendentals with the architects here, and the force organizer that makes up the galaxies, the order of days and the associates, the sons of God, the Michael, the Avonal, the Naol, then the local universe sons of God, the Melchizedek, the Ladnonandek, the Varonandek, Lanonandek, and life carriers. Then this is us, the ascending children of God and the trinitized children of God. And here also center, of course, is the Paradise Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Spirit. Well, I hope you find this video interesting. I'm sorry I didn't want to make it too long. I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you so much for your comment, your likes, your sharing. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. I will come back to you shortly. Thank you very much. Namaste.